Hello, fellow Fantasals. I'm Judith, and I'm here for a short off-season episode about something that I recently became a fan of. Well, not naman super fan, but it's just that I really was into these kind of TV movies na parang may suspense thriller na bent lately. Hindi ko na siya tatawagin guilty pleasure kasi 'di ba sabi nga daw, when you um enjoyed something, wala ka daw dapat ika-guilty. O, char. So for this episode, I'm going to share four of these TV movies that recently kakapanood ko lang and I really enjoyed them. Well, medyo natatawa ko because in a way, may pagka-absurd, syempre yung mga plots, yung mga a little over the top. But it was an hour and a half or so na talagang parang I was so into these movies. So let me begin. The first movie that I recently watched was this movie called Obsessed to Death. I watched it on the Lifetime channel, but I think this film was a Tubi original movie. So if you have Tubi, you can also watch this. So basically, ang kwento niya is, ito yung summary niya. When Cassie's new boyfriend ghosts her for a fitness instructor summer, she quickly becomes entranced with a seemingly perfect trainer, taking obsession to a deadly level. Now it's a fight for who gets Summer's identity. Oh, pa. So this really started with that. Someone was um ghosted and hindi na natanggap. So nung nalaman niya through Instagram, yan, kasi through social media, that the guy was apparently dating this fitness trainer Summer the same time as her. So parang na-obsess siya doon and she really wormed her way para maging close doon kay Summer. What she did was, because si Summer nagko-host siya nung parang fitness challenge. So she enrolled there, marami na siyang mga sinagasaang iba para talaga makakuha siya ng spot doon. Tapos dumating sa point na parang halos PFF na siya ni Summer, na whoever is in her way to be friends with her. What's funny here is that it took the movie siguro hanggang kalahati for the guy who ghosted her and who is Summer's now boyfriend to meet. So parang si guy, hindi niya masabi na, bakit ano ginagawa mo dito at bakit PFF ka na nitong girlfriend ko na si Summer. Tapos siya naman, so parang yun yung ginagamit niya na leverage na, sige, sige, subukan mo. So the interesting thing here, that's where the suspense and the thriller, bukod dun sa mga masamang ginagawa niya to be BFFs with Summer, was that it started as para lang siyang, like a woman scorned, but it turned into parang nakalimutan na niya yung original reason niya why she was doing it. Mas na-obsessed na siya kay Summer to the point na naiinis na siya kapag there are other people na gumigit na sa kanilang dalawa. But lahat naman ng mga masamang ginagawa ng mga tao yun na yun. Ito na yung climax where, Summer's friends and yung mga medyo nagawa niya ng hindi maganda started piecing it together. So that's what I like about movies like this. Na, fine, sa umpisa parang I would understand na hala talaga, hindi niyo napansin yan. But that's what I like it. Yung parang nagsusoko na sila kasi parang this is not normal, and I really like mga ganong confrontations. Minsan over the top talaga yung acting, but I really really like it. Tapos yung ano pa, yung may levels pa yan, yung ide-deny pa niya, tapos makakalusot pa siya. Ganun yung mga gusto kong mga plots, yung hindi mo ako agad mahuhuli, talagang the audacity, parang ganyan. So that's what happened to her. Well, up until she did something, and si Summer na mismo yung nagsabi ng, oh, you're a psycho. So, of course, it didn't end well for her. And apparently, may backstory pala siya na this is not the first time that she has done this. So, yun. So, may issue na siya of people, people leaving her. Yun, yung parang iniiwanan siya and parang nafe-fixate siya doon. Bakit niyo yun ginawa sa akin? So, yeah, if I would rate it, ano ba? 4 out of 5. So the next movie is this one. I really enjoyed it as well. The title is Daddy's Perfect Little Girl. Ang synopsis niya is 2 years after her adoptive mother died, 12-year-old Ella now lives alone with her adored adoptive father, Nolan. But everything is about to change when a new woman with a 14-year-old boy enters her father's life. And Ella will have none of it. Ang creepy nung girl at talagang sobra siyang obsessed sa tatay na, but not naman in a cringy way. I think that movie managed to thread that line between, hindi naman siya yung cringy, it's just that, it's the typical, alam mo yung bata na inagawan ng alam niyang kanya. But sa kanya, talagang sobra siyang sensitive and very protective dun sa father niya to the point na early in the movie, in-establish pa lang na ayaw niya ng kahati sa attention at saka ayaw niya lang naaagrabyado yung tatay niya. Like, merong isa na nagbabike sila, nasagi yung tatay niya. As a kid, galit na galit talaga siya. And the dad was like, oh, it's okay, fine, yeah, yeah, okay lang. Okay lang naman ako. I understand, diba, ano mo ko. So as adults, nagkaintindihan sila. Siya talaga parang, oh my God, talagang parang namumula siya sa galit. Gustong-gusto niyang, pinagsuntok niya yung guy. So from there, na ano mo na, oh my God, this child is creepy. And then, ayun, even if, kunyari, aalis yung tatay niya, tapos, mawawala yung attention sa kanya, gumagawa siya ng paraan, sasaktan niya yung sarili niya. Basta gusto niya yung attention na alagang-alaga siya ng tatay niya. Tapos yun nga, the dad is an advertising agent, I think. So yun, so merong ginawa na isang commercial, tapos may casting director pa, o parang set director. Medyo nagkaroon ng ka-MU yung dad niya. In the beginning, okay pa siya. Parang hindi pa niya nagigets na baka this woman may take away my dad from me. Ang na-fixate siya was because that person, that woman has a son, so teenager na hinire niya to work. So the dad, siguro nakakita siya ng, oh, lalaki, I never had a son. So yan, banding-banding tayo, basketball, basketball. Doon niya parang na-fixate yung ano niya, yung galit niya, yung pagiging evil niya. So lumalabas talaga na mga nagbabasag siya sa set, tapos parang iyak siya na parang kawawa naman ako, dad, ganyan. Para yung attention, each time na makikita niyang mag-usap, kailangan babalik sa kanya. Basta marami pa siyang ginawa na tipong like, this kid is disturbed. Then of course, this is the part where ito na yung andaming, seriously, that kid can get away with it, tapos walang adults na nakakapansin. Iyaan yun na. Suspension of disbelief. Part na ng movie yun. So actually, marami talaga siyang ganun. Ibang ang parang culminating ano nito is that activity is that meron kasi silang pinaplano na camping ng tatay niya. Tapos biglang sinabi ng tatay niya nasasama na yung mag-ina. So galit na galit siya. So anyway, pagbalik nila, nagkakaroon na ng duda yung woman kasi yung anak niya mismo parang nasaktan. So parang as nakita niya kasi na nung nire-rescue yung bagets, nakangiti yung batang babae. Ito nga si perfect little girl. So parang parang this girl is creepy. So until she started, investigating. At saka actually marami pa siyang ibang ginawa which all points back to anytime na merong kakausap sa tatay niya, even ganon, yung talagang kukuha ng attention sa tatay niya na dapat time nilang dalawa. Ayaw niya ng ganon. Tapos yun, as usual, the movie has to end, to piece it together. Sobra siya nagpapanik until, napaka-cliche na, alam mo yun, yung biglang, basta may nagawa siya na she ended up hurting her dad. Ang funny doon was, di ba, yun nga yung ano sa movie said, parang aabangan mo kung yung title, sasabihin siya in any part of the movie. So I was waiting for it and she did. Sabi niya, am I still daddy's perfect little girl? Siyempre yung tatay niya ang bait kahit may dugo-dugo na sinabi niya, yes, you still are. Parang pa. Magaling yung bata in a sense na she was really demonstrating how angry she is. Parang, ano yun, I have met spoiled kids in my life, yung totoo, and grabe siya talaga. Talagang grabe yung galit niya. So, this kid is really good. May pagka-psycho talaga siya kasi she doesn't show remorse. Wala siyang remorse. Hindi niya nagigets kung bakit mali yung ginagawa niya. Pero gustong-gusto ko siya kapag yung time na nahuhuli na siya, hindi siya nakakaramdam ng remorse, pero grabe yung panic attack niya. I mean, for a kid, feeling ko she was like what, in her 10 or 11 when she was performing this. Ang galing niya. So, yeah, but ang daming mga convoluted scenes. But I still enjoyed it anyway. So, probably rated 3 out of 5. So, that's Daddy's Perfect Little Girl. The third movie naman that I really like is called The Man in the Guest House. So, what's it about? So, it says when a young couple find someone to rent out their converted garage, they're happy to have an additional source of income. They soon realize that their lodger may not be the dream tenant they thought he was. This was new. It was, I think, a couple of weeks ago lang nung lumabas siya sa Lifetime. And dito, ano naman, I really like overall, I really liked it because hindi masyadong convoluted in a sense na natitip off agad sila na your behavior is creepy, is crazy. But anyway, it started with that. So may couple, meron silang extra space dun sa kanilang bahay. Like I think it's like an extension of their house na instead of a storage, pinarentahan nila for extra income, which is just practical. So, yun, this was a perfect candidate. Hindi na sila masyado nag-BI kasi nagbayad, ganyan. And then in the beginning, everything was going great. Tapos na-meet pa yung best friend niya. So, okay naman. Until napapansin niya, like the girl, napapansin niya na parang ang daming weird na nangyayari. Like, parang yung series of misfortunes sa buhay niya, nagsimula, lumipat yung guy. Like, for instance, yung job interview niya, nasa sabotage. Tapos parang hindi siya makatulog kasi lagi nagpa-party dun sa kabila. Alam mo yun, parang stuff that are happening na unfortunate for me, pero wala naman akong maisip na parang ang weird na i-point out to sa kanya kasi misfortune ko yun. Parang ako naman ang kamalasan ko naman yun, hindi wala naman siyang kinalaman doon. So ang hirap din for her husband to believe her until may mga deliveries, 'di ba? Yung mga deliveries. Sinabi niya na hindi hayaan mo lang sa labas. It's fine. Hindi naman yan mawawala. Lagi niyang nahuhuli sa loob ng bahay nila yung guy kasi sinabi na, ay, pinasok ko yung package kasi natakot ako na baka may kumuha. So parang nabuweirdohan na siya. Sabi niya, bakit kaya ito pumapasok? Until, ginawa niya, ni-stock na niya. Parang ano ba ginagawa nitong pag wala kami? So, ayun, may nakita siya na someone familiar na dumadalaw. Tapos, anyway, there was this theory na chine-chase niya na hindi pala yon up until, the climax was, lahat ng misfortune na nangyari sa kanya was really orchestrated by this guy. At ano yung connection ng guy na to sa kanya? Well, it was something related to what she did. Let's just say it was revenge. A son's revenge. So I don't know kung medyo bitin siya, but yun, medyo okay naman yung pagkaka-execute. Parang girl, you deserved it in a way, but you also didn't deserve it kasi you were kind of sorry for what you did. But the build up to the suspense, hindi ko, in the middle, masisense mo na kasi, there are alternate POV, so masisense mo na ano talaga yung plot, but the way it unfolded up until the climax, it was kind of satisfying. So yun, enjoy ko siya. So for this movie, I think 4 out of 5 as well. So for this fourth and last movie that I'm going to share is a movie called Who Look Who's Talking. Look Who's Talking, di ba wordplay? So what's it about? It says after the death of her stalker, a new mother pieces her life back together with the help of a personal assistant. When she realizes that she's being targeted again, she's forced to uncover whether she's being stalked from the grave. So yun, from the grave, so doon nag-umpisa yung movie na itong ating protagonist, ang ating bida, meron siyang stalker. Tapos, since doktor siya, dumating sa point na, ang crazy lang nung dumating nahuli niya, tapos dumating sa point na parang mahika kasi, so parang ina-atake. Tapos instead of helping the guy, sabi niya, teka, ni-stalk mo ko, pinahirapan mo ko ng matagal. So she just fled. So the guy died. So, ayun. So, yung guilt na yun, dala-dala niya, pero lagi nga niya gina-justify na, kasi masama din naman siyang tao, ini-stalk niya ako. So anyway, after naka-move on na siya, tapos ginawa niya, lumipat siya ng ibang, kasi like, she has a practice, tapos lumipat siya ng ibang practice under like a different, clinic, ganyan. Sabi niya, magsimula talaga ako ulit, magsa-start over ako. And then she started seeing this guy. I mean, not really this guy, but yung itsura nung guy, bago siya namatay, wear a hoodie, ganyan. So, lagi niya nakikita, tapos yung parang nawawala. So, parang question niya yung sanity niya. Sabi nga niya, siguro hindi pa talaga ako over dito sa nangyaring ito. And then, she tries to brush it off by working hard. Kaya nga lang, lagi na talaga nakikita, may mga talaga, may mga pasite itong guy na to. Tapos may mga nakikita siyang notes na parang I'm still here. We're always gonna be together. Parang ganyan. Tapos, syempre, may mga red herrings to the point na pinagdududahan na niya yung kanyang partner o na asawa niya, na, kung sino-sino man. But as it progresses, we will also learn that Minsan, gano'n naman, di ba? Whoever is closest to you, ganun daw, yun ang yun ang most likely may gagawa sa ng ng hindi maganda kasi yan ang nakakaalam ng lahat ng kilos mo. Doon, the reveal as to who, as to where is this person and as to why that person is doing this to her. Yun, medyo satisfying in a sense kasi gusto ko yung may gano'n, yung mga ganong parusa. Spoil ko na ba? Okay, spoil ko na nga. What happened was it was the assistant. Of course, although medyo nandun na siya sa sa synopsis. The assistant is the sister of the one who was unalived, na kanyang stalker. So 'di ba, parang siya din hindi niya magets, parang alam mo, parang kapatid mo sa akin. Tapos sabi no, syempre ang niya, syempre family eh. Sabi niya, magbabago naman siya, may medication nga siya, ganyan. At saka sana pinapulis mo na lang, sana pinakulong mo or something. Bakit sinabihan pa siya na ano yan sa practice mo? Kasi di ba, meron kang oath na mag-protect ka ng buhay, magsisave ka ng buhay. Hindi mo ginawa. Mga gano'n, parang girl. So anyway, that's yun ang niya, na meron talaga siyang binabayaran na kahulma ng kanyang kapatid na magpapakita ka each time para lang takutin mo siya. So, story of revenge. Really like. So, suspense level, okay naman. Confrontation, satisfying. The end, I mean, it was okay. Overall, medyo a little bit clunky dun sa medyo bandang gitna. So, siguro 3.5 out of 5. Mataas na rin yun. I really like this. So there's 4 TV movies that I watched recently na na-enjoy ko. And I'm going to tell you, fellow fans, I'm not gonna stop. Kasi nakakatawa siyang i-binge, lalo na yung mga nasa streaming apps. So, na swerte nandun na. So, tsaka usually they would show it to you, di ba? So, parang, sunod-sunod na talaga yan. Para siyang, it's a beautiful viewing black hole. So, if you like shows like this, if you have any ideas about what should I watch next, meron ba kayo mga suggestions? May mga nagsasabi na, oh, you should go for yung mga medical setting, yung mga, is the doctor, the nurse, sila yung mga creepy, kasi yun daw medyo, then very engaging then. I'll try to get to that and hopefully share my feedback as well in, I don't know, another off-season episode. In the meantime, if you have other comments or feedback for me, kung na-watch na rin tong mga shinare ko, feel free to tell us, like comment below or message us in any of our socials. So thank you, fellow Fundisals, for always being here, for always appreciating and liking and watching. Please tell your friends and family about us if you haven't yet. And we'll see you again next episode. Bye-bye.